So, for anybody watching this, I'm going to wait for a few minutes. So, stop recording for a minute just to pause the recording. Okay, so we are recording, which is the most important thing, because otherwise, oh, I can see some people coming in. So, okay. Hello, hello. Hi, Claire. How are you? Okay. Thank you for joining. I can't see you yet, but that's okay. So I'm just going to make sure you all the people are on mute. Let me see participants. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, right. Okay, cool. So let's get going. I'm going to share my screen. So hopefully this is going to work. This is the first time I've done a Zoom class like this, so bear with me. And I have only got, it's going to be 40 minutes, fairly short class this. So okay, let me share the screen and let's get going. So here we are, this one here, and hopefully you can see my screen. Hopefully you can hear me. So welcome to this event. This is Reroute, Rewire and Rewrite Your Money Story. It's a 40-minute Zoom class for horse women entrepreneurs like you. So let's dive in, let's crack on. So overall vibe and takeaways from this class, okay? So it's going to be an uplifting experience, okay? And giving you permission to ground your real life transformation, the things that you want to happen, the things that you want to take from your imagination and bring them into real life, okay? And it's going to be a blend of storytelling and powerful questions and energy shifts and tangible takeaways, okay? And leaving you feeling like that was just what I needed, and now I'm ready for more. So do you have a pen and paper? Because you're going to need it. You can pause this if you're watching the recording. If you're watching it live, then obviously you can watch the recording again, because that might be helpful as well. So anyway, have your notebook and pen handy, because we're going to do something straight away. Okay, so if you're ready, that is, we are going to be unblocking your success, your things that you, your business success, your financial success, your everything in your life that currently feels like a struggle. Hopefully you can hear this. It's kind of doing it, yeah, thinking thing. But okay, hopefully you can hear me and see me clearly and so okay, so why this matters right now. Money isn't just numbers. It's part of your narrative, your energy, your identity, who you are, who you're becoming. It's so many things. It's so many complicated things, and it can make you kind of be a bit mind-boggling if you're not careful. So the very first thing I would love everyone to do is think of or write down what seemingly impossible goal would you like to leave this class with the changed belief about? Something that isn't just possible. It's something that you would really like to be able to achieve. It could be a monetary goal, okay, a big monetary goal, something that makes you feel excited, okay, and something. So hang on, let me just check I wrote this right, because sometimes I mess up my grammar and stuff. So it isn't just possible. It isn't just possible. So you just created a plan and it feels exciting, and you are taking action because you cannot not. Okay, that's a really cool thing. Okay, you cannot not. take action. You cannot not do this. So this is like the mindset work, the deep mindset work that you should be doing, and in order to make significant changes and and work on what you're doing, where you're going. It could be really therapeutic to sit down and just write this stuff out, to journal this stuff out, and make some really like potentially life-changing plans. But then you don't just like write it all down and go, oh, that would be nice. No, you're going to take action. It's not where it stops, not where it ends. We need to be taking action. Okay. So let's move on. So what stories are you stuck in? What are the things in like your world that you kind of think they are your limitations? Think that maybe you are maybe you're a riding instructor, or you work with teaching people something about riding, which is important, okay, and you think that you can only teach in the time that you've got in your physical world, as it were. But is that really the case? Is that really as much as you can do? Probably not. Or, well, no, it's not. Okay. No, this is definitely for sort of breaking out of those stories, or thinking of, an alternative way of doing things, okay, and ways that you can expand and grow and create the opportunities and the income that you really truly want. It's going to change things. So, so the me version of me who thought I wasn't much use, versus the version of me who has the obligation to share my journey in a way that impacts others. Okay, so when you do this work properly, when you do this work in depth, which we are kind of doing now in a 40-minute little capsule, as it were, which obviously you can spend longer on it than this. When you tap into your genius, which is something I talk about a lot, and the things that you are good at doing, the things that you need to be teaching, the things that you need to be, broadcasting to the world in a tangible, in a consumable way, which, we'll talk about that later. You can't not share it. It will be unethical not to be sharing it. And it will be inhibiting others. It will be holding on to something which other people need, that you have, and you're blocking yourself from the successes, from the income that you should be receiving from that. Okay, so this is all about rerouting. I came across the title rerouting because I was thinking rerouting as in like routing as in the ROOT version, as in like roots in the ground, and also root as in a different way. And actually both of those words kind of describe what I'm talking about here. Okay, so I had to choose between which one I was going to choose. So the rerouting as in rerouting in the ground, which, yes, you're rerouting, rechanging the way we are absorbing things around us and the way we are growing, and also we are changing the way, changing the direction, changing what direction we are heading in, just slightly, or maybe a lot. I don't know, but so rerouting and rewiring. So let me carry on with this. So exploring common money narratives. Now you may have done this work before, you may have done this kind of thing before, but this is different in that, well, we're doing it deeper this time. We're doing it in a way which actually changes something. So you've already written down your seemingly impossible goal, okay? And obviously feel free to share that, in the Equine Empress Society, or you can send it to me in DM, or but you do this work, do this, obviously. So these are common like money narratives that affect a lot of people. So I have to work hard to do and to deserve money. In that, as horse people, we typically, I mean, I'm definitely, this is something I'm definitely, guilty of. In that you have to work hard in order to earn the money that you need. You have to do more hours. You have to do more. You have to do physically fit as much as you can in, and then some. But this is about creating a strategy that works for you, okay? Changing things fundamentally so that you can earn the money that you really want to, or you can think of ways and change the way you are working, okay? Or I'm not good with money, is that's another one that hits people hard, because sometimes you may have made silly purchases, or you may just be someone who has made silly decisions and things like that, or things that, but actually at the end of the day you can usually think through these things and what's the word I'm looking for, resolve them, and forgive yourself for these things, because they were part of the journey. They're a part of you proving that you could do something, or proving that you did have the money for something, or there'll be a particular thing where you can overcome that and think, yeah, it was okay that I spent that money on that, or it was okay that I worked at that job for such a long time and I didn't make a lot of progress, but that was okay because I lived with that and I was okay. And it's greedy to want more. No, this is one that's so inhibiting, so it's so in your DNA, as it were, in your ego, as it were, because it wanting more you can worry what would happen if you did achieve the big goals. You could worry about what would people think of you, and what would happen to you, but at the end of the day it will be nice. Life will be easier, and you'd have more to share, more to give, and be a better role model for your kids or people that you're associated with. Hi, I can see you. I can see you. Okay. I'm confident that I could earn more. Right. Okay. So we can work on this. Okay. We can definitely work on this. I might, if I get time, I'm having to kind of rush a little bit because I've only got like an hour. I've got something else at 3 o'clock. So I'll answer questions at the end. I will try and make sure I do that at the end. And again, if you're watching the recording, then please do feel free to ask questions in the Empress Society. Okay. So let's go on. Let's move on. So these stories feel true because they've been rehearsed. They've been something that you have been thinking, and it's been you kind of found the truth in it, and you are believing in that truth. But you can change that. Okay, they're not facts. They're not not actually etched in stone. You might think they are, but they're not. And they are just roads that we keep driving down, just like your comfort zone, your safety zone. We are kind of primed to stay within the confines of what people expect of us and what we think we're capable of and things like that. But this is the work that we are doing right now to change that. So it's time to rewire and interrupt the pattern, connect with your truth. Okay, so the thing that you just wrote at the beginning of this thing, your impossible goal, right? That is something that we are connecting you with. You are connecting yourself with. Okay, this is just the tool that you're using to do that. So this is just the medicine, as it were, to help you to adopt the mindset, adopt the beliefs in your own mind that you are capable. You are more than capable, because you just are. Okay, if there's something that you have a dream to create, a thing that a knowledge base, then this is part of your purpose, your soul purpose, your truth. Okay, so what's really happening in your brain and your body when you try to shift your income? Okay, so your identity conflict. Okay, because you've always been that person who works for a pittance, or you've always been that person who has an uncomfortable feeling around money, and or asking for money, or setting goals, to financial goals. There's so many different things around here. I mean, feel free to make some notes on this, by the way, as we're going through. So what are your identity conflicts? What things do you feel are off, or what it could be an experience from childhood where somebody said, I don't think so, that's a bit too much to be spending on that. Or there'll be some little narratives that are like etched in your mind, where somebody has criticized you, or somebody said, oh, I don't think that's a good I don't think that's possible, I don't think that's good. And maybe that was part of their story. Okay? It doesn't need to be part of your story. So and emotional stickiness. Okay, the kind of beliefs that you stick to, the emotions that you like feel, even though you're struggling, even though that can feel like that's a safe space, you're used to that struggle, that's somewhere that you are comfortable and difficult to get out of, because you kind of find yourself in a loop going back to that place, as it were. And the unconscious loyalty to old beliefs. Yeah, such a common thing. Okay. I'm not on full screen, am I? Why am I not on full screen? I don't know. Hang on. Let me just. Right, that's better. Why didn't I do that before? At least I'm recording, so we're going to be good there. Okay. I only see it as being on full screen. I can't see the time, but we're okay for time, so that's good. Okay, so we're going to move on. So 3 powerful rewiring tools, simple and memorable. Okay, so this is something that I would love everybody who watches this to take with them. Okay, so to catch those limiting beliefs and become aware of them, become aware of. I'm just going to move my thing because I can't see. There we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, become aware of them. Just be curious about your own thoughts and the things that crop up. Like you said, oh, maybe you thought, I won't buy that because I don't think I should. Or maybe you'll think, I won't charge that because who's going to buy that? Who's going to pay for that? Or, yeah, there'll be a thing that crops up in your mind that is like a story that you're telling yourself. So if you catch it, you just like think about, is that true? Why is that true? Why do I think that's true? Okay, and challenge it. So ask it if it's, what if you did do that thing? What if you did buy that thing? What if you did decide you're going to start that business, or change something, or launch something? Or what would happen if you did that? What would happen? What's the worst that could happen? Maybe it would be nobody buys it, but then you would learn something from that. Okay, you would learn something from that, and it's possible to change that whatever is wrong with it, so that it does make money. It does do what you wanted to do. Okay. And what would you look like if you didn't have these money stories? What would happen? What would life be like if you didn't have these limiting beliefs about money? What would life be like? So, and you get to choose again. You get to replace it. You get to do something empowering and believable. But that's the important thing. So doing this work is great, but you actually have to do something. You actually have to move. You actually have to change, the narrative, change those beliefs to something. And it's almost a bit like reprogramming your mind so that you are available, you are able to receive things. And there is this work that needs to be done in order, it runs alongside running a business or starting a business or deciding that you are going to find your true genius and make a business from that. Whether it's alongside another business, whether it's part of something else, we're all busy people with so much in our lives, horses and people, other kids, and maybe have other job or other things that you're doing, and a house to run and the cooking to do and all of these things. So yeah. Okay, so here's a bonus tip. Okay, borrow the belief from someone further along to do what you need to do to nurture the new, bolder ideas and make them feel like they belong to you. But you know what? They already do belong to you. But when you hang out with people who are further along the journey, the road than you, when there's that energy, that vibe that you want to be in amongst, you just know, okay, that is your space where you are able to grow and you're able to take on new beliefs and live with them until they become yours. Live with them until they become real, until they become part of what you can see and experience. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a minute there. I'm just going to ask, I know you asked a question, Claire. Let me just find the chat. Okay, you're confident that you can earn more. Okay. Tell me more about that, Claire. Feel free to drop that in the chat or yeah. Why don't
Is it easy if I chat?
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Come on, that's fine. Yes. Okay. Tell me more about that.
So I've started a few businesses over the years, and nothing has ever really been that successful financially.
Okay.
So I'm out here in Spain, and I had an in-person business where people came out to me for training, and it was amazing. It was very successful, but not financially. Everyone thought it was amazing. And then COVID happened, and now I'm in bed resting after spinal surgery. So the in-person thing isn't happening anymore. So I'm sort of moving into doing more online and stuff. But I have this thing that I keep trying, and obviously it just doesn't flow, and it just doesn't seem to work, even though I know I've been told, the results I get with my clients are amazing, and I do one-to-one coaching as well.
Yeah.
I have great results with my clients, but it's getting that flow of clients that I struggle with. So I'm constantly on the hamster wheel. It feels like, and so I'm in the middle of just planning a launch at the moment for next month. So, and it's just trying to keep up with the consistency of keeping everything going, because I kind of have boom and bust. That's the sort of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, these are all they're very real challenges, and I don't take anything that people say lightly, because you know, I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle with you know, getting more clients and things like that. I know how that is. And to not really know the way forward, and for it to feel a bit lonely and on your own, and you know, the struggle is real, as they say. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to carry on with this because this might, I probably have got the answer or an answer for this. So, okay. So, so it's time to rewrite and craft your next level money identity. Okay. So we've taken what we've just, you know, your impossible goal, the thing that is feels just amazing, and you know, doing a little bit of journaling on the questions that we did just now, and really deciding what it is you want to change, what is going to be different about your future self, and we're going to activate that. Okay. So who do you want to become when your income reflects your value? Okay, the value of your work. I mean, that's difficult to put a value on sometimes, really, isn't it? But you know, yeah, when you are receiving the amount of money that you want to be receiving, how does that affect you? What does life look like? Who do you become? And what's different about your boundaries and your decisions, energy, and your confidence? Okay, these are really like powerful things that will change, are going to change. You know, doing just this exercise alone will give you some insight and some direction and some like truths. It's when you just sit down in a room with somebody and you just kind of like, you know, go, oh yeah, oh yeah, I should be doing, yeah, you know, and you can see where things need to change. And sometimes you need that bit of like that space, as it were, to sort of grow into that and to that to become the reality. So here's another really powerful journaling prompt. Okay, so the woman who receives abundance with ease and thinks and acts and feels like. So what do you have? What does that look like? Who are you if you are that woman? Who are you if you receive abundance with ease? I used to really hate the word abundance, by the way, but I'm kind of coming to terms with it in that it just means that I mean, we do live in a world where there is just so much. There is so much, and almost too much in lots of circumstances, in that there's so much information, there's so much that you could possibly do. There's so much opportunity, and it feels like almost like, where do you like pinpoint, what do you, it becomes an overabundance almost. And yeah, so but for you, I mean, just have a little sort of deep dive into that. Who are you when you receive abundance with ease? And how do you think, how do you act, how do you feel, what does it feel like? Okay. So obviously come back to this. You can obviously come back to the recording, or if you want the slides, I can let you have the slides. That's also fine. So let me just move my thing down there again. So share that that magic connection. If you apply these principles to your seemingly impossible goal, what happens? Okay. How does it feel? What does it, you know, you do this bit of journaling, and I know this is just a little exercise and it's just a little, you know, snapshot almost, but this is where, you know, small things, you know, big things come from small things that you do. Okay, so what if you could take immediate action, not to let go of this energy? Okay, so don't just go, oh well, that's nice, but you actually go and do something with it. Okay. And that's the important thing about doing any energy work, any sort of, you know, personal development work, is you go and actually use it, you go and apply it straight away. So here is oh, hang on, I've just jumped on a bit too, but I kind of got there. But yeah, so here is an invitation to step into unbridled abundance. This is a kind of next step, as it were, I decided to do a sort of amalgamation of the work that I have been doing. Okay. The end of last year, I was working with people to create like what I called it a passive income thing, but basically it was to define 3 different things. Oh, I've got a 10-minute warning coming. So it was to define 3 different things. So your genius, your thing that you are really, really good at, the thing that you know, only you know. And then we're going to create a passive income around that. So a thing that people can buy, a thing that people can an offer, basically, an offer that you can sell, and people would just love it. And there's a whole process involved in that. And then there's also an affiliate thing, so you can have more than one income stream. And there's also a thing where we set up another passive income stream, which is to do with printables, where you were, something to do with your initial offer that you can have people going through, experiencing a little bit of what you're doing. Experiencing a little taster of what you're doing, your thing that you, your genius, your expertise, which is kind of like, bottled into something that is really what a small amount, it's very niche, okay, very niche, but people really, really want that, okay? And it's connecting with those people who really, really want that. And then you can have this thing over here, which is, I'm demonstrating with my hands here, in that, you create a digestible, a thing that they can consume and use. For example, we did an advent calendar at the end of last year. You may have seen it in the Equine Empress Society. I think it's still there somewhere in the guides bit. We created an advent calendar so it had a post for every single day in a post and a downloadable thing of every single day in December. And there is a thing, like a printables type thing for every business, for every person, for every possible season. There's lots of things that people will help people organize, help people know what you do, help people do things with confidence, help people know what to do, all these kind of things. And as I said, there's like unlimited amount of ideas out there. It's just finding what is your thing, what is your own expertise. And everybody has a different one. Even if you think you're trained in the same thing as other people are, your own 30, 40, 50 years experience on this planet makes you totally different. Okay, the things that you've survived, things that you learned, the things that you have, and things that you've done, all those things comprise into your unique thing. Okay, your own sort of recipe, your own thing that you are good at. Basically, we bottle that down and we use the Equine Empress Society you can do your own live events in there, tell your story, and literally sell your things to the Equine Empress Society people. Okay, I'm having to march on a bit here because I'm aware that I'm going to run out of time. I may just disappear and then I don't know what I'll do. You'll just have to leave you hoping that you'll come back for more. Anyway, so the transformation promise of this program, this is Unbridled Abundance, it's called. It's a 90-day program, and there are 50 spaces, because I wanted to make it so that you get the best of both worlds. It's a group program, but you also get a lot of hands-on help. Okay. The idea was to make it possible for even those who are struggling financially, which a lot of people are these days, I know, for you to really make a huge difference. And I also made it so that the main aim of this is to make a significant financial income, difference, change, so that you know that you can make, have it as £10,000, okay, which is a huge sum of money for a lot of people, okay, and it's an exciting sum of money for a lot of people. That's a good benchmark. It's a good, like, you know, thing to stick your stake in, as it were. So yeah, so that's what I mean, if that's what a goal that you like, then let's do that. Okay, if you have a different goal, then that's also good, but it needs to be that kind of size, that kind of intensity. That's what we're going for here. We're going for, you know, your seemingly impossible goal, and we're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces and doing that thing, doing whatever it takes to do that thing, to make that possible. Okay, so anyway, I've got notes that I've written myself here, and I'm now starting to worry because I'm not going fast enough. So confidence to charge more because you are a specialist in your specific brand, expertise, unique gift, etc. So systems that support your new income. Systems to support new income. Yeah. So the way that you're going to do it is going to be totally clear from the very beginning. Okay? That's the important thing here. It's not just a hope we do the thing. No, there's no failure here. This is it. We're doing this. That's it. So this is why I have a application system for this. So if you want to do this, then there is an application thing. So it's just an email that you you reply to, and with a few questions, that so I know that you are somebody who is in this, who wants to do this. So because it's not for everybody, it's not, you know, you've got to come to this with some energy and some desire. It's not me doing it for you, it's you doing it and me helping you to do it, and also having a community within which to do this as well, because you cannot do it on your own. Okay, and so we are, I'm just moving again, mindset rewiring, because mindset is, you know, that's what's going to help you or not help you, as the case may be. So that this level of success becomes a new normal. Okay, so there are 50 spots. There's an application process, and there's personal and community support, as I have kind of explained already. Again, if you have any questions, then please just let me know. If I don't get time here, then, which I probably won't, then just drop them in the group or send me a private message. So if your body is saying yes, and trust that nudge and apply now, and because in the next 90 days, that takes us to, I think it's mid-June, I think, we're going to completely reroute an entire relationship with money and yeah, that's just a part of it really, but yeah, going to do that. Okay, so this is more of the unbridled abundance, the 90-day expansion for horse women ready to receive more. So, who it's for: passionate women in equine wellness or heart-led businesses who are done undercharging or second guessing themselves, know they're capable of more but feel stuck in old patterns, have offers or income streams started but just they're not consistent yet, and you're secretly afraid that to go all in because you're ready to stop playing small, and you crave aligned strategy and solid systems and a serious mindset shift. The simplicity is the key really here. That's what I try and help people to kind of focus their attention on. So anyway, now I can't see what I've written because it's too big. Okay, so in these 90 days, we're going to break up your money blocks and maybe that you've been holding on to for years. And we're going to stabilize your income so that you have systems that you just know work like clockwork. So we're creating your own individual businesses, which you know, you can expand or scale or, you know, tweak, pivot, whatever, you know, that are going to work, and we're going to test them. You're going to get confident telling your story. You're going to create a whole ecosystem almost around yourself. Okay. Step into visibility and confidence without feeling fake or loud or salesy, and make aligned decisions based on your next level self, not your fears. And you're going to be able to receive money, clients, opportunities, and with ease and trust. And be supported by a coach, that's me, who sees your power in the whole